Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another CSGO video. Today we'll talk about shifting and crouching, why you might have some problems with those. So I'd say, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so first of all we'll talk about shift walking and basically its attributes. First of all, we'll bring up the console, we're gonna hit space and then we'll type in show pause, like this. So we'll get this command, type 1, hit enter. And top left hand corner we can now see our velocity. So shift walking with the AK is about 111, with the Glock it's 124. So obviously you're slower when you're shift walking, you know that. And the thing about shift walking is that you do not make a sound. Now this is the first thing that kind of is the major part about shift walking. You actually only want to shift walk if you do not want to make sound, but you still want to kind of maintain your height or your posture, so you can still have your normal crosshair placement and stuff like that, because other than that, shifting doesn't really offer you all that many benefits anymore. So it used to be that when you had an op and you were shift walking that you would fire accurately, but that has been patched a long time ago, so you can't really do that anymore. So now shift walking is really only, and I mean really only, for when you do not want to make any kind of sound at all. You do not want to shift walk at any other circumstances. Many times I see people telling me, well, when they're stutter stepping, they're just like running like that and then they're holding the shift key and then they start firing. And that doesn't make any sense, because as you can see, like normal stutter step, I mean with shift walking like right here, or if we just fire shift walking like that, so we're fairly close. So let's actually bring up the accuracy command to better show what's going on. Accuracy. While shift walking, the spread is still extremely large like this, as you can see. So if you're fairly up close like this, of course, it looks a lot better, but once you're kind of getting down range, there's no point in shift walking. That's shift walking, that's normal walking, that is crouching. So a normal standing, it's like this. Pretty much the same as crouching. So shift walking does reduce the circle a little bit, but it still doesn't really help you. You want to get down the stutter stepping in order to be accurate. Other than that, shifting doesn't really help you all that much. I see many people often saying that they're just like, once they start walking and they start firing, you just hold shift and start firing. And you can see the first circle is still too big. And the first shot is always the most important one. So that's the one you want to land on the head with, because whenever you're going for a kill, you first of all start with headshot height, start to, well, get the headshot at first, and maybe like with the first burst like that. And then you want to kill him, because you want to use the first accurate bullets, because eventually the circle gets bigger and bigger and more inaccurate, which means you're less likely to actually hit the head, which is why you're transitioning down to a straight towards the, well, torso area, because you got a, well, you want to hit center of mass, because there's like a bigger target right there. And that's about shifting, so really only use it when you're actually trying to be silent. There's no helping you with accuracy, there's no other thing that will actually make shift walking any better. Right now it really is only there if you maybe like set up a certain nade or something like that, or specifically if you want to be silent. Alrighty, so now let's talk about crouching. Crouching still has many benefits that you actually want to use. First of all, as we already showed just a couple of seconds ago, you're pretty much completely accurate while firing and like even crouch walking like that. So essentially, whenever you're transitioning into a spray and crouching down, so of course you're doing this whenever you're kind of caught out in the open and you got no way of retreating back to cover in order to re-peek, then you're actually transitioning into a crouch spray like this. And the better way, instead of just like start firing and then crouching down, is to actually fire, crouch down and start moving, because you can still move, you're still being accurate, and this makes you harder to hit, because the biggest problem whenever you're crouching, so you can see that the lines are kind of moving to the side. The biggest problem with crouching is that you're kind of a sitting duck, so you're easy to hit, and once you're just crouching to the side, even just a little bit like this, and you can see it takes a little bit of time until you gain your complete velocity, you're a lot harder to hit already, which again means, as long as you're not being tagged to death, that you can have like a higher chance of survival, and hence a better chance of killing your enemy opponent actually. Now, we also have this other thing of people pretty much doing the same thing as they did with essentially the shift walking, where it's just they run and then they start crouch firing. And you can see that even here, the circle is even bigger than if you just like go with the shift walking. So if you just do it like this, the first bullet, once again, is just completely off-center. We were aiming right here, that's where the bullet did land. So once again, whenever you're trying to crouch, you want to have the stutter step beforehand, or you want to start crouching first and then start firing, which is kind of weird, but still better in terms of accuracy, instead of doing the just running, stop running, and then crouching like this. You see, you're just lacking lots of accuracy in the beginning, which is really the essential part with your rifle. So that's another big issue. And last but not least, of course, I talked about this before, but you never want to slow crouch peek like this. Reason for that, once again, kind of obvious. This is a normal player model, and he's like that wide. Once you're crouching, you're kind of that wide. So whenever you're going around a corner and you're crouched, you're actually wider, meaning the enemy will see you first. So again, this is something you also want to keep in mind. So do not slow crouch peek like this. You can go around like this and then fire and kind of crouch down, evade a headshot and stuff like that, but never just creep around the corner like that. You're just going to get killed very easily. Even not with an op. You never want to do that. So these were the two common mistakes that people did ask me the last couple of days quite often, especially on the last Noob Pro episodes, if it's okay if they do their starter stepping with the shift key and the crouch key. And I hope I was able to demonstrate that that's not the way you should be doing it, because you're not actually accurate, of course. Once you miss your first, like, 1, 2, 3 bullets, you get your accuracy, but you want to really also have the accuracy of the first 3 bullets as well. But yeah, I think it's been enough for now, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.